The Ottoman Empire, a 600-year history. Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you, and welcome back to Abrahamic Dialogue. I'm your host Ibrahim, and today we're setting out on an incredible historical journey, one that spans over 600 years and 3 continents. We're exploring the story of the Ottoman Empire, from a small tribal principality in Anatolia to a vast, multi-ethnic empire that defined the balance of power in Europe and the Middle East. The Ottoman story is one of innovation, conquest, and eventual decline. Understanding it is key to understanding the modern world. Before we delve into the lives of the sultans and the organization of this colossal state, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into history and culture, and share this lesson with others who want to learn. Your support truly helps. From frontier tribe to powerhouse, c. 1300 to 1453. The Ottoman story begins around 1300 CE in Anatolia, modern-day Turkey. The empire was founded by a leader named Osmanus, and its name is derived from him, Ottoman being the anglicized version of Osmanli. They were originally a Ghazi state, a frontier principality focused on raiding and expanding at the expense of the neighboring Byzantine Empire. Their early success was due to military innovation, particularly the creation of the Janissaries, Yenicheri, meaning new soldiers. This elite infantry corps was one of the first professional standing armies in Europe. By the early 15th century, the Ottomans had already crossed into Europe, establishing a foothold in the Balkans. Despite a major setback in 1402, when they were defeated by Timur Tamerlane at the Battle of Ankara, they recovered with remarkable speed, demonstrating the state's deep resilience. The Zenith, conquest of Constantinople, 1453. The definitive moment in Ottoman history, and arguably one of the most significant events of the late Middle Ages, was the conquest of Constantinople in 1453. This triumph was achieved by Sultan Mehmed II, forever known as the Conqueror, Fatih. Mehmed was only 21 years old when he marshaled a massive army and artillery, including giant cannons custom-built for the siege. After a 53-day siege, the city, the last bastion of the Byzantine Empire and the historical capital of Roman power, finally fell. Mehmed immediately transformed the city into his new magnificent capital, renaming it Istanbul, the derivative of the Greek phrase meaning "to the city." He famously converted the Hagia Sophia into a mosque and set about rebuilding the city. This conquest did more than just expand the empire. It signaled the complete shift in global power and marked the Ottomans as the successors to the Roman Empire. The Ottomans were now a world power. The Golden Age. Suleiman the Magnificent, 1520 to 1566. The Ottoman Empire reached its cultural, political, and military zenith under Suleiman I, known in the West as Suleiman the Magnificent, and in the East as Kanuni, the lawgiver. Under Suleiman, the empire expanded to its furthest territorial limits. His armies conquered much of Hungary, laid siege to Vienna, controlled the holy cities of Mecca, Medina, and Jerusalem, and dominated the North African coast. Suleiman was equally important for his work in law and culture. He codified a comprehensive legal system, Kanun, that governed everything from criminal justice to taxation, ensuring stability across his diverse lands. His reign was a cultural high point, marked by the stunning architecture of the chief court architect, Mimar Sinan, who designed countless mosques, bridges, and public works. This was the era when the Ottoman state truly embodied its image as a sophisticated global empire. Imperial structure, how the empire functioned. The Ottoman Empire's endurance was due in part to its highly structured, centralized administration. At the top was the Sultan, who held absolute power. He governed through the Divan, imperial council, headed by the Grand Vizier, essentially his prime minister. One of the most remarkable features of the empire was its system of governance over diverse populations. 1. The Millet System. This allowed non-Muslim religious communities, like Greek Orthodox, Armenian Orthodox, and Jews, to govern their own affairs, including law, education, and taxation, under their own religious leaders. This policy of tolerance fostered loyalty and stability. 2. The Devshirme system. This was a unique, often controversial, method of recruiting state servants. Boys, primarily from Christian families in the Balkans, were conscripted, converted to Islam, educated, and trained to serve the state. The most talented rose to the highest ranks of the administration, while others became the elite janissaries. This created a powerful class of loyal servants with no family ties to the Anatolian nobility. The stagnation and decline, 17th and 18th centuries. After Suleiman, the empire entered a long period of stagnation and slow decline. The reasons were complex. Succession issues. The early practice of fratricide, killing brothers to secure the throne, was replaced by the cage system, where potential heirs were imprisoned for years. This produced sultans who were often politically inexperienced and ill-equipped to rule. Military lag. European powers surpassed the Ottoman military, especially in technology and centralized organization, a fact brutally highlighted after the final, unsuccessful siege of Vienna in 1683. Economic challenges. Global trade shifted from the Mediterranean to the Atlantic, bypassing the Ottoman heartlands. Furthermore, the empire granted generous trade concessions known as the capitulations to European powers, undermining Ottoman industries and tax revenues. The sick man of Europe. Reform and crisis, 19th century. By the 19th century, the Ottoman Empire was widely referred to by European powers as the sick man of Europe. The century was dominated by two major internal forces, reform and crisis. Tanzimat reforms, a period of intense modernization began, aiming to centralize and westernize the administration, military, and legal system. Sultan Mehmed II even abolished the Janissary Corps entirely in 1826. Nationalism and loss. Inspired by the European Enlightenment, nationalist movements surged in the Balkans, leading to the independence of nations like Greece and Serbia. The empire suffered massive territorial losses and was constantly pulled into the diplomatic orbit of rival European powers, Britain, France, and Russia, who were eager to carve up its remaining territories. The Young Turks. Towards the end of the century, a constitutional, secular movement known as the Young Turks gained momentum, eventually forcing the Sultan to reinstate a constitution in 1908. The end, World War I and dissolution. The empire's fate was sealed by its disastrous decision to enter World War I on the side of the Central Powers, Germany and Austria-Hungary. The war brought the empire to its knees. Despite some remarkable local victories, like Gallipoli, the overwhelming military and economic pressure proved too great. Following its defeat, the empire was partitioned by the Allied powers. The final Sultan, Mehmed VI, was deposed. The remaining Turkish heartland was saved from further partition by the brilliant military and political leadership of Mustafa Kemal, who led the Turkish War of Independence. In 1922, the Sultanate was officially abolished, and in 1923, the Republic of Turkey was established, bringing the long, storied chapter of the Ottoman Empire to a final close. Legacy, a lasting impact. The legacy of the Ottomans is immense and complex. It's responsible for the cultural contours of modern Turkey, the structure of many contemporary Middle Eastern states, and the rich intermingling of traditions across the Balkans. Its contributions in architecture, cuisine, classical music, and administrative science still resonate today, a testament to an empire that endured for 6 centuries and profoundly shaped the modern world. We've traveled from a small Anatolian tribe to a global superpower, and finally to the establishment of the modern Turkish Republic. It's a vast, rich history that reminds us of the cycles of growth, splendor, and eventual change that govern all civilizations. I'm curious, what aspect of the Ottoman Empire, its unique Millet System, its stunning architecture, or the rapid nature of its early rise, did you find most fascinating today? Share your thoughts and reflections in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Abrahamic Dialogue for more historical explorations, and share this video with others. Thank you for joining me. Peace be upon you.